It's moving day at the PGA Championship 2026. I'm Terry Evans along with Art New, and it's time for the Alberta Golf Podcast. Good morning, Art.
Good morning, Terry. How are you?
Just dandy. Thank you for asking. Just a couple of quick things to mention before we get rolling here for moving day at the PGA Championship. The Moving Day Podcast is brought to you by Mixed Bag Golf. You can see I'm wearing... There's my little logo right there. I have the hummingbird design on. Mixed Bag. Elevate your golf experience with high-quality, stylish clothing for men and women, blending performance, comfort, and a competitive price. Mixedbag.com. MIXDBAG.com. Also, your outfit there at Canada Golf Card Driving Range on Ellerslie Road. Is it the biggest driving range in the Edmonton area?
Yes, I think it is. We have 70 stalls, and we've got a big piece of property there, 16 and a half acres, I think. So, yeah, it is.
Canada Golf Card Driving Range on Ellerslie Road in Edmonton. What is it? 13510 Ellerslie Road Southwest in Edmonton. Follow on Facebook and Instagram. If you follow on Facebook and Instagram, you'll see all kinds of deals. I follow and I see the stuff that you have for seniors, for kids, for there's all kinds of spiffs that you can get. And in the Alberta Golf Podcast today, we are going to have a code word.
Absolutely.
And the code word will be a special word that you can hear and utilize. Where are we going to have the spiff, the special deal for the code word?
Well, we can do it at the range, and then we'll throw in Trestle Creek as well.
Okay, so that's coming up in about 5-6 minutes. We'll get to the code word. But first, let's get to moving day at the PGA Championships. Or championship, I suppose I should say. And here's another thing, too. Should we try it all together on a count of 3 to say the name of the golf course?
Yeah, hang on. I got it written down here.
1, 2, 3.
Aronomink.
Hey! I saw that, and it's just outside of Philadelphia, in a suburb of Philadelphia. And I saw that, and I thought, Aronomink. I had to study the first 2 rounds really carefully to find out exactly how to say it.
I've been struggling with it myself. It's I guess the part of it is silent, and when the club was established, it was I had it written down here early on, like in 1896. Here we go. Yeah, 1896, and it was a bunch of cricketers that formed the golf club. And so, I mean, they must have been into the sauce to come up with that name. I don't know. But I think it's the name of the county or the town, is it not, in around Philadelphia?
It could be. I don't have the information in front of me, but Aronomink, it could be a combination of a number of words slurred all together after some Irish whiskey or something.
It's quite a golf course. So they moved properties a couple times. And in 1926, they purchased the 300 acres where it currently sits. And that clubhouse was built in 1928. And obviously it's been remodeled a few times inside and stuff, but it's original. And Donald Ross designed the golf course. And he had an interesting quote. He said, "I intended to make this my masterpiece, but not until today did I realize that I built it better than I knew." And they have that plaque sitting behind the first tee as you tee off. So, Donald Ross, for those that don't know, is most famous probably for Pinehurst number 2. Also, Pine Needles and Mid Pines down around the Southern Pines area in North Carolina. And they're just fabulous golf courses. His trademark are the greens, quite undulating, and it's quite easy to run off the greens, with your approaches, even putts. The 11th hole, for example, it's a 420-yard par 4. It's been causing the pros grief if they miss long. I don't know if you saw Bryson. He hit it 30 feet past the hole and above the hole. And after his first putt, he had 57 feet coming back. So there's all sorts of stuff that Donald Ross does like that. I mean, Pinehurst #2 is famous for that too. So yeah, he's a mastermind or a genius in golf design, in my opinion.
There was some controversy, as it were, as well, because what was it, Rory? I mean, Rory didn't do very well. He was 4 over in the first round. Bryson was 6 over the first round, but Rory was saying that the pin locations, I mean, everybody's got a little bit of something to complain about, whether it's the U.S. Open or the PGA Championship or something. And Rory wasn't too happy with the layout and how things were shaken out with the pin placements and whatnot, correct?
Yes. I mean, listen, that's emotions, really. It's the same golf course for everybody. The guys that shot, 2 under or 3 under that first day, they weren't complaining. So, it's his way of venting, I think. And sure, is there questionable pins in tournaments? Absolutely, but you have to adapt and adjust. And some guys will, some guys won't. It might be your day, it might not. The rough is treacherous. It's 3.5 to 4 inches high. Some of those balls just disappear. You can't even see them,
right.
And the stimp on the greens is 12.5. And again, add in those undulations and you really need to be golfing your ball. And when you miss in the correct spot. And I really didn't know a lot about this golf course. I'm really admiring it, watching, on TV. And it's only hosted this championship, I believe, once before. In the 60s, I think. So it's been quite a while.
That's an interesting point you bring up. It's about missing in the right places. Is there that much management of the pros game where they say, okay, just as an example, and by no means am I comparing myself to a professional golfer, but on a short par 4, like a 320 par 4 that's got the front bunkers all in it, I will hit a driver and hope that I roll into a bunker because I like playing out of the sand and I'm a decent sand player. But I know other people will only hit a 4-iron or something like that, so they've got 120 in. But for me, I like my chances out of the sand. So that's part of the management of my game, as poor as it is at times.
Yeah.
But with the pros, they can, when they play the course or practice the course before the competition actually starts, they find out where to miss and actually aim for those spots in case the fairway is getting too narrow at one spot or there's too many fairway bunkers or something, or approach is going to be haywire, kind of like what Bryson ran into with a longer shot after his initial shot.
Yeah, 100%. And it really boils down to the design of the golf hole, not just on the yardage. The shape of the green. I'll give you an example. Trestle Creek, the 11th hole. It's a short par 4. A lot of guys just automatically pull out driver and go for it. But when you get closer to that green, the green is very sloped and it has a false front. And if you come up a little short on it, it spins right off the green, and now you're left with 20 yards coming back up to a small green. And again, if you hit too far, same thing. There's a bunker back there, and then the up and down is really tough. So that's a hole where you have to play to the strength of your game. So a guy like you that likes it out of the sand, hit into one of the greenside bunkers if you can, and then you've got a better shot at getting up and down. A guy that has a really good wedge game from, 100 yards or 80 yards, you might lay up. So it just depends on how the hole is designed. And then the green, that's crucial. But those guys in their practice rounds, they will bring in all the options. Most of them will practice the strength of their game. So if they're good out of the greenside bunker, they'll hit a lot of balls out of, a specific bunker in front of that green. Or they may lay up back, to an 80-yard wedge shot, whatever they feel most comfortable with. And they'll practice those shots all over. Then they'll practice a few that if they miss poorly, and they didn't intend to end up somewhere, they'll practice those as well. Mm-hmm. Just in case.
It's like the thing you see on social media. I throw a bucket of balls into the bush and start trying to hit out of the bush. That's my practice because that's where I usually am.
Yeah.
8 yards into the bush.
Yeah, but you have a magnificent chip out game. I know that for sure. Yeah.
So the PGA Championship, everybody's playing for the Wanamaker Trophy. I have to tell the story for anybody who's watching this on YouTube. If you're listening, you don't not seeing the video aspect of it. But anybody who's watching this on YouTube, you can see over Art's shoulder is the Wanamaker Trophy, and then there's the gallery or the grandstands in the background. And then in mine, I have all of the major trophies: the Wanamaker and the Claret Jug and the Masters Trophy and U.S. Open trophy. So, but when Art and I hooked up to get on the podcast this morning, I clicked on to sign him in, and we both had the same picture. And I know it looks ridiculous. I have my floating head, and,
Yeah.
but we had the exact same picture as our virtual.
Well, great minds think alike. That's
Yeah. That Wanamaker Trophy is a trophy that can be won by a PGA professional or a club pro. That's the interesting thing about the PGA Championship, isn't it?
Yeah, absolutely. And there was one, I didn't look this morning, but I think Ben Kern made the cut, and he's a club pro. And then, of course, Richard Block became famous last year in this event and played a few PGA Tour events afterwards.
Michael Block?
Not Michael Block, sorry. Yeah. And unfortunately, he missed the cut this year. But Ben Kern was doing okay. I think he was 1 over or 2 over.
He was tied for 30th after the second round, 74-67. So he basically did the same thing that Rory did.
Yeah. I have a few guys that I'm going to mention in here in a little bit, but let's just really quickly go back to that Wanamaker Trophy. Interesting little stat. So it was named after a Philadelphia businessman that he hosted a luncheon in 1916 for the leading golf professionals. And shortly after that luncheon, the PGA of America was formed, and they started playing. In the first year, Jim Barnes was the first winner. And he won $500 and a diamond-studded gold medal that was donated by Wanamaker. So years later, it was a match play tournament, and that changed in 1958. It went to the stroke play format that we see now, and the trophy was named after Mr. Wanamaker, and so that's where the name comes from. The trophy weighs 27 pounds. And the winning professional gets to keep it for a year. Then he's given a replica for his trophy case, but he has to return it. But it was lost one year by Walter Hagen. He claimed that he gave it to a cabbie to take to his hotel, and it never showed up. And years later, it was found by the L.A. Young and Company, who ironically made Walter Hagen's golf clubs. So kind of just a fluke that it ended up there. But anyway, it was returned years later. So it was kind of a neat story. But sure, a 27-pound trophy. It's kind of like that Masters jacket that showed up at the thrift shop. But anyway, the trophy was gone for a few years, and then it did miraculously return. So that was kind of cool.
There's video from time to time of the trophy being awarded and then the lid falls off or something.
Yeah, I've seen that a few times. I don't know if they've fixed that or not, but it used to, I can't remember. It might have been Justin Thomas that it fell apart on him when they handed it over. I'm not sure, but I do remember seeing that.
Now, here's another question that'll jog your memory, or maybe I'm thinking it was the PGA Championship, but it actually wasn't. Remember they were doing the on-green interview at the end of the tournament, and a guy came up and stood in front of the camera and went, "Boo! Boo!" Do you remember? Was that the PGA Championship?
I don't remember that, but I would think that might be something at the British Open, because I remember the streaker at the British Open when Daly won.
Yeah. Didn't he have 19th hole written on his back and an arrow pointing down to his ass?
Yeah. Yeah, that one stands out. But
okay, let's get to the code word here for today, and tell me what you want to do. If you want to do a code word for Trestle Creek Golf Resort, or do you want to do it for Canada Golf Card Driving Range?
Well, let's do it for both. And okay. So the code, first off, at the driving range, okay, you'll get a small bucket for a large bucket for the price of a small. Okay, which saves you about $4 or $5.
Okay.
And at the golf course, Trestle Creek will do 25% off your foursome up until before Father's Day, because we'll do June 15th. And you'll get 25% off your foursome Monday through Friday or after 12 o'clock on the weekends.
Okay, let's roll through it again. For the code word, when you go to the Canada Golf Card driving range on Ellerslie Road in Edmonton, you'll get a large bucket for the price of a small bucket. If you go out to Trestle Creek, just before you get to Entwistle, west of Edmonton, 25% off green fees for your foursome Monday to Friday and weekends after noon. After 12 p.m., and that's up until June 15th. So, all right, what's the code word, Art?
Well, let's make it Hagen.
Hagen.
Yeah, Hagen, in honor of Walter Hagen and losing the trophy.
Walter Hagen. Okay, Hagen is the code word. Again, a large for the price of a small at Canada Golf Card driving range here in Edmonton, and 25% off green fee Monday to Friday for your foursome. And after 12 p.m. on weekends up until June 15th at Trestle Creek Golf Resort, which I was happy to head out there and play a little golf with Steve and Dave from Drift Golf. Had a great day, played a few holes with you. The course is looking really nice, great early season condition, and I almost got a hole in one.
I saw that.
Everybody was very quiet on the tee box, and it was on the seventh hole on that creek side.
So the island green.
Yeah, so the island green, and we were playing from the blues. And you know how people talk about, oh yeah, I was out with Buddy, our general manager, and he bounced one in off the sprinkler head or the ball washer from the next tee box, and it came back and went in the hole. This would have been if this would have gone in, and literally it was a half an inch it missed by, but this would have been the hole in one to tell all of your friends about and all of your every clubhouse that you're in, because it went right over the pin, landed, left a nice ball mark, great spin back, and it spun to within just like an inch and a half, 3 inches, somewhere in there. So nice.
You need to save that, when the greens get a little quicker as we get into the season. That might have had a real good chance.
Well, and I don't know what day you guys, the grounds crew out there punched. I don't know what day that was. We golfed on what day did we golf? Wednesday? Yeah.
Yes.
So we golfed Wednesday, so I'm not sure what day the punch, that it was starting to already fill in and everything after the punching and the top dressing and stuff. But yeah, if the greens were in mid-season condition, who knows? Well, I probably would have spun it right off. It would have gone into the water.
Yeah. Our superintendent actually punches them late in the year, so it was just before we closed last year. Oh. And so, yeah, that's why they're ahead of schedule for filling in. He doesn't like doing it in the spring. He wants them in good shape kind of after or during the May long weekend on. So really, we just need some heat. It's been so terrible around our area that, in Edmonton and such, it's been so cool at night, and we need those temperatures to be in the double digits at night, and then it'll really start to grow.
Yeah. That's for sure. But thank you so much for having us out there. It was a terrific day.
Oh, anytime. So let's talk about a couple players today. I mean, the two leaders, McNeely and Smalley, are 4 under, but they've got a few heavy hitters chasing them. Scotty Scheffler. I mean, everyone's saying he's having a bad year. He's the defending champ, by the way, for this trophy this year, and he's had 1 win, 6 top 10s, and 19 top 25s. And that's a bad year for Scotty. I guess we're used to him, winning about 4 by now, but he's right there. His scoring average is first on the tour this year. It's 68.28. Birdie average is first at 5.03 a round. Greens in regulation first at 71.30%. Putting is here's the difference. He's 14th. So if that putter gets hot, look out, because he's hitting the ball as well as always. He's such a I mean, he's got that tiger factor. When he's on the leaderboard and chasing you, you notice and you hear the roars. And so he's only 2 back. I wouldn't count him out yet. After that, at 1 back, and Chris Gotterup. Now, here's a guy that's won twice on tour already. He won the Sony Open and the Phoenix Open, and then he's had 3 other top 10s. So the guy's made like over $5 million, I think, this year, and he bombs it. He's not on any of the statistical leaderboards, other than driving distance. He's, I think, 5th. And it's wild that he's won twice already, and he's such a good player. He's, I think, ranked 10th in the world now, and nobody really knows the guy yet. Mm-hmm. But he's got the game. So he at 1 back, he's definitely in the hunt. He made a bit of a move yesterday, I think, on the leaderboard. And then this guy, Cam Young. Cam Young's been the hottest player as of late. He's only 2 back. And he struggled the first or the second day a little bit, but he managed to scrape it around, and 2 back is nothing. His putter has been on fire this year. And then this guy, I bet you, is not even on your radar, but Harris English. He was runner-up last year to Scotty, 5 back. Scotty dominated so well. But Harris has played well he's always up there in the majors. He's always top 20 or quite often, over the years. He went to live for a bit and then came back a few years ago. And he's steady. He's always in the Ryder Cup conversation. So there's a guy to watch as well at 2 back. And then yesterday, Kurt Kitayama made a bit of a charge, and he's only 3 back. So there's another guy that shines in the big tournaments. So it should be fun. This leaderboard is stacked. Hard to pick a winner, but Will McNeely and Smalley, they've looked very steady, but now we're into the weekend, and the big dogs are chasing, and of course John Rahm is up there too.
That's for sure. I'm not sure what the pairings are going to be here, because I haven't looked at it if it's 2 or 3, or it's probably 2 because we're into the 3rd round moving day. But I'm just looking. Padraig Harrington and Rory McIlroy are both at even, and actually, they've already teed off. Okay. Harrington's -3 today. And Rory, so no, I just thought it would be interesting if they were in the same group. Nobody'd be able to understand it.
Especially Patty, he's hard to understand at the best of times.
Those 2 guys from over there, they start talking, and the dialect gets pretty thick pretty quick.
Yeah, and maybe a Guinness at the turn, Yeah. All right. Chris Kirk today was, when I looked earlier, -4 through 9. And to get to -1. So he's thrown himself right back in the mix. I don't know if he's hung on there. I don't have the leaderboard in front of me now, but there's another guy that can golf. He's kind of hasn't done a lot the last couple of years, but he's definitely got the ability.
As I look at the leaderboard right now, there's a few guys at -2. And again, this is, because of the time that it comes out, it ages poorly. -2. Hogard, Harmon, Reeton, Michael Kim. Taylor Pendrith is 3 under.
For the day,
on the 16th for the day. So that puts him at +1. Then you've got Nikolai Hogard at -4, Harrington -3, and then the rest of there's the guys. 2 guys. Chris Kirk and Justin Rose are both 5 under for the day and -2 for the tournament.
So Rose is at -2?
Rose is at -2 as of right now, as we record this. So
okay.
Obviously things are going to change as soon as this is released or when
it
comes out. But it's another moving day podcast with a PGA major. Art New from Trestle Creek Golf Resort, about an hour west of Edmonton, just off Highway 16, and of course Canada Golf Card Driving Range on Ellerslie Road in Edmonton. You can follow them on Facebook and Instagram. Also want to thank mixedbag.com. Elevate your golf experience with high quality stylish clothing just like this. There you go, Mixed Bag. You go to mixdbag.com. Art, I think we've covered it all unless I forgot anything. Is there anything else to add?
No, I think we've got it covered. Keep an eye on Scotty today, and I kind of like Goddard. Those are my two guys that I think are gonna rise to the top by tomorrow.
I still got a soft spot in my head for the old guys. I'm going to go with Justin Rose, and I'm going to go with Rose, and I'm going to go with the two Justins, Rose and Thomas. I think those are the guys. So
Nice.
Those are my predictions.
Justin Thomas, past champion.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
Once again, the code word for a large bucket for the price of a small at Canada Golf Card Driving Range. And the same code word, 25% green fee reduction on your foursome Monday through Friday and weekends afternoon up until June 15th at Trestle Creek Golf Resort west of the city. The code word is Hagen, as in Walter Hagen. Use that when you call or when you go up to the counter at Canada Golf Card Driving Range, and you'll get that spiff. Thanks very much, Art.
Thank you.
Enjoy
Fun as always.
Yeah, enjoy the golf.
Okay, you too, and we'll talk soon.